Welcome to the show with your friend and mine. So tell me, Dr. Squee, who's it gonna be this time? We like to hear you talk, and we love to hear you listen. And if you are not subscribed, you won't know what you're missing. So welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Headphones up. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. I'm Dr. Squee and this is my show. This week we are joined by the amazing Leigh Gill. So this was recorded live at Sci-Fi Weekender. You'll know Leigh from such things as The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. He was in Game of Thrones. He's been on The Witcher, all sorts. Really fantastic actor, talks all about it. As we join him, we'll talk about that in a minute, but we're going to do basically highlights this week, as we did last week with Michael Troughton, because this is a live event, and obviously they want you to come there. We've just done the selected highlights. If you want to see the whole thing, you need to be there in the room, and they're already now selling tickets for Sci-Fi Weekender 16, where you'll see such guests as Christina Chong from Strange New Worlds, Noah Hathaway from Neverending Story. You got Jolly Boat, Level Up Leroy, The Dark Room, all those fantastic evening acts, as well as the wonderful guests from during the day. Please get yourself there. You want to be seeing that. It's always a good time. It's like a festival and a convention had a little baby, and it was Sci-Fi Weekender. So please do join us next year. But yeah, on to this week's show. So Leigh Gill, unfortunately for this one, we didn't get any videos, so it's audio only. But, you know, we had a good time talking. You're going to really enjoy this. I put some selected photos along with it, as I've done with other ones, which we only had an audio. You'll get the drill. It'll be a good time. You'll have good fun with this one. As we're joining Leigh in this conversation, which we had, it's going to be part way into him talking about, and I'm going to forget, it's a Scorpion King 4 we talked about, which I said I was unaware of, and he said, oh, well, you know, to be honest with you, I think most of them weren't aware there was anything more than the first one. So I had a good sense of humor about that. But as we go in, he's just talking about working with Lou Ferrigno. And so we're going to commence the interview here. Please enjoy it. Please do join us next week for another great interview. But here is Mr. Leigh Gill from Sci-Fi Weekender 15.
Lou Ferrigno was in there. It's insanely cool cast for like a straight-to-DVD thing. It's quite a good little Sunday afternoon.
And I think there's some...
I've had a character called Chief Onus.
Yeah.
My dad always calls me Chief Anus, which is nice.
Dads are so kind.
Yeah, going off to it. What's your character called? Chief Anus. It's very supportive.
Yeah, your family will keep you humble in that way. And I think there is something about that. You know, you mentioned Lou Ferrigno there, which kind of like, I think there's something special about, of course, working with the likes of kind of the big stars you work with is amazing, but it's ones we grew up with, I think really means something to you.
I mean, yeah, so I'm a big Arnie fan, and watching like Pumping Iron, like him and Arnie and Lou Ferrigno, and then obviously, you know, Incredible Hulk. But yeah, he was a lovely guy, and yeah, just an absolute legend. It's just really cool. And Michael Bean was in that one as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, still thinking for
it. Pretty good. We'll get on to The Joker. Absolutely amazing movie. A really different take on the kind of mythos of the Joker. When you first saw the script, what was it like to just read something so different kind of written about that character?
I mean, when I got the script to audition with, we didn't know it was Joker, because they changed all the names, and like, you know, we just knew it was a Warner Brothers project, and so I got sent a few scenes, and I was like, oh, this is great, whatever this is. Yeah, like, they didn't say anything about who's in it or who was directing or anything. And then like a few weeks later, listen, I was in Germany doing a film and got a call to say like, oh, we're really interested in you for this, like keep the dates free. So it seemed like I was like close to getting it. But then they revealed that it was Todd Phillips. I had an email, it was like Todd Phillips' name was on there. I was like, oh, I'm going to go and see what Todd Phillips is doing. and found out, I was like, oh my god, it's Joker. And then I booked a one-way ticket to New York. Because I was like, a lot of the American guys that were auditioning, they got the opportunity to audition in person. And there's a bit of an advantage there. You get to make an impression. They show that you're someone that would be fun to work with or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not having anyone else nicking that job, so I flew over that. Hoping to meet someone in casting face to face, but Todd found out I was going to be over there and he insisted to meet me in person. So I was in New York for 10 days waiting for Tom to be free. I had to ring back for my dad to pay my rent because I wasn't expecting to be out there so long. Yeah, it was worth it.
Was your dad there going, oh, Anus needs me to pay the rent again? Big Hollywood actor.
But no, it's cool. The script for that is amazing. And the script for Joker 2. Oh my god, but I can't talk about it.
So yeah, you're going to tell us all about Joker 2 now, yeah. Is there anything you can tease us about Joker 2?
Just that it was, without that, the most incredible filming experience I've ever had. Yeah, it's all with Leigh again, and Lady Gaga's phenomenal. It's the same team, so they've absolutely knocked out the park again, and yeah, it's going to be special, very special.
Let's talk about Joaquin Phoenix in that scene, though. It's the most iconic scene in the film, and you get to be there. And I think there is a real kind of challenge. Essentially, a lot of what you're doing there is reacting. As there's blood-curdling screams, you're kind of just reacting to that, and that can so easily not come off as dramatic if it's kind of just general. How do you kind of get yourself in the mindset for a scene like that?
I don't know. When you do a scene like that with Joaquin, it feels real when you do certain things with him, and he's always improvising. So every take is different, and it's really exciting and fun just getting sort of lost somewhere with him and just trusting he's going to throw something at you and you've got to bounce off each other. But it feels very real and easy to just sort of snap into something when you do a scene with him. Yeah, I don't know. And I love all the improvisations that make it into the film. When he jumps, he scares me. That wasn't meant to happen. And genuinely, I was yeah, it's good.
And it's just, I've never had a kind of door chain be so menacing before as when you're trying to go. It's like, oh my god, oh no, he's so dead now. Oh no, he isn't.
Yeah, it was quite fun watching it in the cinema, in the premieres and stuff. Just not really realising the impact it would have on people. Half the people were like, oh no, and then some people laugh. It was really fascinating balance, and I think Todd really achieved something special in that scene. In that, within the space of a couple of minutes, you go through so many different things. It's so dark, and then it's really violent, and then suddenly you back up to comedy. But but it's sad and it's something else.
And it seems like one of the kind of best roles where it is kind of specific to a little person in the kind of in what's happening, but it isn't a little person role. It's a great role. It's really nice to see that kind of come along. How's that been as you've been working, seeing those kind of roles get a bit better for little people?
Back in the day there was a lot of just shove them in a costume. Shove them in a costume. But no, I think certainly for me, I try to just go for proper roles. And I think it has got a lot better. I think since Game of Thrones, Pete Dinklage's done an absolutely phenomenal job and proved that some of us you don't have to shove us in a costume. But sometimes it's fun to be shoved in a costume. I quite like getting shoved in some kind of. But no, you can have both. You can have in an interesting costume as well. There have been a lot more proper opportunities coming up for real actors, which is great.
Yeah, and I've interviewed quite a few little people actors, and it's there is a kind of sort of seems to be a duality in the kind of wanting to push forward the diversity, because at the same part, there's some parts which at the moment are the only ones being put out, for especially upcoming little person actors. But you also want to push it forward to get something more meaty happening. Was that something you struggled with at all coming up, or you just need to work when you're coming up?
For me, one thing usually when I do a bit of work, it leads on to other work, so I don't like that kind of thing. So just don't be a knob when you do a job. That's a quote. Don't be a knob when you do a job. No, just like networking and that, and then I've had directors like think outside the box of like, I've played a drug dealer, I've played gangsters, I've played like all sorts.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like sometimes it just makes it a bit more interesting. Like the character just happens to be story. It doesn't have to be like a real like the thing about it. Do you know what I mean? Like you get like us short asses or in all manner of positions in life. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a lawyer in a film, like, why can't it be a short lawyer? You know? So like, really, when you do casting, you can cast almost any role for a short actor. Like I mean, unless it's an Olympic sprinter or a high jumper, but unless the role like really can't be, there's no reason why you can't.
I now just want to see if an Olympic sprint. I'm sorry, I just do.
Worst Olympic sprinter ever. Like, how did I get
Yeah, exactly. That's the mystery of the film. How did this come about?
2 minutes to do the 100 metre?
One thing which I kind of like I've noticed, because I've got a few friends who are creature performers who do these kind of like these amazing outfits you get to wear, but you have to keep yourself in pretty good shape to do that. You're obviously kind of quite a built guy yourself. How do you keep yourself in shape when you're acting?
Thanks for the compliment.
Hey, you're looking good, man. Come on, he's looking good, isn't he? Yeah, thank you. He looks even better next to me.
I don't give anything. I haven't seen the gym in years. I eat whatever crap I want. So the key is junk food, soft drinks, partying a lot, plenty of beer. No, I don't do anything. I'm just naturally
hench. Yeah. Obviously, like, because I seem to be following the rest of your plan. I think it's the working very hard afterwards which I'm missing out on. The Witcher, which you had a kind of like a small role on, as the one-eyed dwarf. We were talking about characters, and don't need a name or anything.
Yeah. That was fun. That came up, like when the first season was coming out. It was like the first role that was like put out there to audition for. And because I hadn't played the games or anything, I didn't know there might be other ones. I was like, oh brilliant, what's the point in going for that one? What am I doing? I would have waited for another one, like it was just more like that was fun. It was really nice working with Leigh Gill. Like they put like a contact lens in me that actually covered the pupil. So I was completely blinded.
And you were in a cave, weren't you?
Yeah, it's real dark in the cave. Pupil covered. So my depth perception was terrible. I was bumping into stuff all day. And they covered me in all sorts of dirt, big beard. And then Henry comes in, like, looking like he's been chiseled out of a piece of marble. I'm like, brilliant.
It's a very glamorous job, yeah? I did like when I was doing some research for this, I heard you talk to one interviewer and say that one of the fans tried to get you named on the part. They were starting a campaign to get you named Bruce, I believe it was. I kind of like the fans that Game of Thrones, absolutely. Again, like another one of these massive shows. You came in just to the height of its popularity. You're working with Richard E. Grant?
Yeah, he's a legend. What an interesting man. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure the people have seen with him out of the night. Like, Richard E. Grant is such a legend. Yeah, he's so funny. He's one of those people, like, he doesn't drink anything. But like, you'll be at like a meal or a party or something, and his energy, you know, he's like, what, imagine if he did. You know? He would be, But he was great to work with. But the whole team was great to work with. They flew us out to Belfast to, like, since we were in the theatre troupe, they flew us out there to rehearse like a full play. So we had like a couple of weeks out there just rehearsing it as if we were doing a full-length play. And then they sort of just put like, bits of each, bits of the play in each episode on their own. But, it was great.
I believe he turned down going to U2 concert because he had other plans. Do you remember this? No, Richard E. Grant.
No, this was brilliant. There's children here, so I can't really say, because he swore, but... So one day we got back after filming, and Dan and Dave, the show writers, they had emailed everyone, oh, we've been invited to a U2 concert they're playing at the Belfast Arena. If anyone wants to come, there's going to be like a bus picking up cars and that. And I was like, free night out? Why not? I'm not really a fan of U2, but why not? I'm sure it'd be a good show.
Thanks to Apple, we've all got one of their albums at least.
Oh God, yeah. But then, yeah, it was really interesting. Like the next day in the makeup chair, I sat next to Richard, and the makeup artist was like, oh, how was the concert? And he was like, absolutely dreadful. Absolutely. He's like, I listened to one or two songs, I had enough, and I went back to the hotel. I was in bed by 9 o'clock watching The Apprentice. And I was like, brilliant. And yeah, I won't say what he said about me and Bono, because there's probably children there. He didn't have many nice things to say about Bono. He had to line up as if we were in the bloody Queen with Bono, okay? Everyone stood in a line and he kept taking along one by one, shaking around. Who do you think he is? Nobbo. Unbelievable. And like, he literally said the same thing to every person. Have you been to a U2 concert before? I was like, no. Originally, I was like, imagine me every time I met someone. Have you seen all of my TV appearances? And he's just like, what an absolute hunt. Okay.
Well, I think it's a worse insult. No, anyway. We mentioned Dick and Tom before. There's also Celebrity Juice and Through the Keyhole, which you kind of got a guest on in one of the kind of more fun parts. It's got to be kind of just so much fun, kind of just popping up on those TV shows.
Yeah, I mean that's real acting, you know. It's just attacking people.
That's where it really happens.
Yeah, that's top-notch stuff. I know Lee Francis is he's become a very good friend over 8 years, and yeah, he's great. Any old excuse he can think of to have a bit of a laugh. Like he's always just like, Lee, are you free? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'll come and be a miniature Donald Trump. What else? Yeah, it's quite fun. He's a really nice guy. I went to see his, he's doing a live tour at the moment. He's doing all his characters from, you know, back in the day, like Avid Miriam and all that. The little teddy bear. But yeah, it's a really good live stage show. If you get a chance to check out one of those. Yeah.
And we've kind of like mentioned all these wonderful actors like that you work with. Is there any kind of particular experience which was informative to you as an actor? Like, you know, you must pick up so many nuggets just acting alongside these people.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean, just the puzzle of like he's just trying to figure him out. It's just I don't know, yeah. It's hard to, I don't know, nuggets. I don't know if I could give like a quote of that, but just I think just being around people like that and just it's like training in your craft. You know what I mean? Like when you spend hours with someone as good as him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And naturally, he elevates your performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh, completely. And I think the kind of thing I'm sort of fascinated with your acting series, it's always something different. So there's always something you've got to kind of like pull out of the bag and get in.
Yeah, I mean, when you're reacting to someone as unbelievable as he is, you get tip for that, and you're improvising together, and it's just like it's this crazy wild ride on some of the scenes we've just done. But yeah, it's incredible. Just having the opportunity to play make believe with one of the greatest actors of all time is something pretty special.
Again, just remind you, anyone who's just joining us, please do come up, ask your questions. If not, I'm just going to keep on talking.
I'm not like my celebrity juice. I'm not going to attack you.
Although, be careful around the bins, you might be anywhere. Fantastic Beasts. Again, another great franchise. Was it something kind of you were into the Harry Potter films? Was that something you
No, I'm still right. We went to watch it for my sister's 10th birthday, the first Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought I was too cool then. I was like, rock and roll. And I thought the kids in it were annoying. But apparently the later films got really good. But I really should go and watch the Harry Potter films again because I've heard by so many people that I'm wrong and they're good movies. I should give them a go.
And when you were doing the film, that was a lot of kind of add-in post for you, I believe, in that one.
So it's I wore the little costume and then it's in Harry Potter they did the Green Goblins. They that was all prosthetics, but with Fantastic Beasts it was all like they just had like a clean slate film and then they added it in post like the Goblin stuff, Goblin House, Elf. Yeah.
Is that something you find okay to do? Like acting with Sailor Moon?
It was better because I was acting with like Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Waterston, and Colin Farrell, but it was all like I didn't have like this stuff stuck on my face, so it was quite nice just being there, you know.
Tell us about working with Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, he was lovely. He was just like this, very posh, West British, lovely guy. I'd quite like to go to his house. He was telling us about all these secrets of how he cooks the rice dinner. It was like, so fun to make a cook. That was really nice guy.
You got any tips for rice potatoes or anything while we're here?
I would like to shaking them up a bit. So you
Shake.
got to bash them up a bit. Get sort of bash them up and then you get the crispy outside. I'm saying that as if I ever cook. I just ordered Deliveroo every day. I'm cooking this. Deliveroo.
Fair enough. You were telling me backstage you were about to go off to New Zealand, I think it was filmed next. What's coming up in New Zealand?
Well, I'm not allowed to tell you.
I'm going to trick him eventually.
It's really exciting. Like TV series, I've got like quite a major main role in it, and I'm going to be out there for about 7-8 months a year for the next 5 years, so that's pretty banging. And then in between that, I'm going to be in LA, so I'm barely going to be here, but I've got about a month to sort out my life, trying to squeeze all of my belongings into my old bedroom at my parents'. So they're not very happy with that.
Well, your dad's not going to pay the rent this time.
No, I thought it, like, he was like moaning that how much like was fitting in. So I went and bought a shed. They could build it. And now I'm filling a shed they didn't want in this garden either. So nearly got all my crap out of my flat. Nearly like good to go. It's pointless in renting anyway here. I'm just gonna go there, do that, and then I'll come buy a place and I'll take it all out of there. Their house is full of all my stuff in there. So.
It must be pretty daunting, like leaving for a 5-year job at that time, which is happening in your life.
It's exciting. But I've got one of my best mates is coming out to be my peer. he's just coming out for a holiday. I'm gonna make it work. I'll think of stuff. I'm hungover or whatever, like ring a bell. Yeah.
And your coach will appear.
I talked to some people yesterday. Just thought like quite a funny idea to pretend that they've insisted he wears a uniform, so probably a silly little hat or something like his personal assistant.
I'm picturing an oversized bow tie. Yeah, be good. Yeah. And going about these events, is there anyone which was a particularly important meet for you, someone who you're a huge fan of that you've got to meet doing these events?
I did it with Al Pacino. That was cool. Casually eating all the girls and drinking with Scarface. It was lovely.
It's not bad.
And then he was talking about, it was after The Irishman premiere, we sat down and so he was talking about The Irishman and that, and I was talking about, obviously, De Niro was in both Joker and Irishman, and he was asking me about the Joker and things I actually hadn't seen it, and then the little event thing started, a few more people came in, so we had the same producer of Joker and Irishman was Emma Tillinger-Cosgrove. She's amazing, and she invited me to the Irishman premiere as a special guest because she was like, "Oh Lee, I want to introduce you to Marty." Just casual, go meet Scorsese. So when they came in, I went and chatted with them. And then I was like, I've kind of hogged Al Pacino, so I'll let him. I'll let other people talk to Al Pacino. But yeah, then when he was leaving, these like security guard came and found me. And he was like, "Oh, Leigh, this Regina wanted to like me to find you so you can come say goodbye." And I was like, "Well, that's kind of cool." Wow. And so he came over and he was like, "Oh, hey kid, I gotta go, but I'm gonna go watch your clown movie." I was like, "Yeah, clown movie, my silly little clown movie." But yeah, Al Pacino. I hope you were sitting there like, "Hey, that's my little friend. Say hello to my little friend." He's cool as hell.
I think they should call the next one that, like Joker 2 clown movie.
Hey, I'm gonna go watch your clown movie. So good.
Out of all these wonderful shows you've been in and films, is there a kind of franchise or something that you kind of have always wanted to go into? That you're...
Yeah, when am I going to be in Star Wars? God damn it. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully one day. And yeah, I want to die in something as well. I was talking to someone else. I've never died in anything. Every time I get a script, I'm like, am I going to die? No. And then it's like, this thing I'm going to go be doing in New Zealand. And they said, "Oh yeah, throughout like the whole 5 seasons, you're one of the only ones that doesn't die." I'm like,
what's a guy got to do to get killed around here?
I did Game of Thrones and I didn't get killed. Everybody gets killed in that. Like, I just want like a real violent, horrible death. Like, just have a go at doing that, you'll be fine as hell.
You're walking around set with a target on, they wouldn't shoot you.
Like, literally, nobody's killing you in any of these things. It's so annoying. But yeah, we'll find out again.
Okay, let's try and workshop this. So Star Wars, what are you playing? What are you picturing? Like you can create any character now, like it's existed or it's new.
I want to be the dark side. I want to be a bad guy. I prefer being a bad guy.
Just so you can get killed finally.
Kind of Sith. Yeah.
Have you got a favourite kind of...
Just a real horrible bastard in Star Wars.
Oh, that'd be great.
With a red lightsaber.
Have you got a favourite era of the show? Because which Star Wars would be your kind of go-to?
Well, Empire Strikes Back in it as a result.
It's pretty damn legendary, yeah. And we kind of I always like to sort of put something out there for kind of, we got young people who are kind of aspiring actors and writers and everything else. What kind of is your advice to people who are trying to get into this kind of gig?
Work really hard and be prepared. You have to be real patient, real stubborn, and take every opportunity that comes your way. And yeah, it's one of those where well, I don't know. I think some people do have a quick and easy path, but I think it's figure out, find your love for it, and yeah, no, you have to really commit to it. I took a chance to just quit my day job and was decided. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to have that I gave myself no other opportunity, no other option.
Yeah.
I was like, if I quit my day job, this has to work. And it's, yeah, you can't just wing it.
Yeah.
You have to put a lot of thought into how you're going to be playing each character. And networking is, because every project you do is a big creative team, isn't it? So it's important to be able to work with people. You can't be one of these thieves that's, it's making movies is meant to be fun, isn't it? I think that's why that's why I want to do it. Is because I enjoy watching movies. I enjoy the escapism of watching a film. So for me, that escapism you get watching a film, you get it even more when you're in it. And that's it. It's find what it is about acting that you love. There's some people that love, Shakespeare and theatre and all of that. Find your thing,
Have you done much theatre?
No, I don't know. It's not. I've done bits, yeah, but I just want to, prefer screen acting and hopefully get killed in some kind of horrific horror movie. I want to be.
Can someone please kill my new friend here?
I'd like to be in a movie with Arnie shoots and machine guns.
Oh yeah, being taken out by Arnie.
One-liners. Do you know what I mean?
The amazing, just Arnie sends you flying across the room with a hail of machine gun bullets. Brilliant, sir.
First of all, if you want to get killed in the film, maybe speak to me on Marshall today.
Let's make this happen. Good point.
Secondly, you said about quitting your day job. How old you were when that happened?
Yeah, it's a very good moment.
But you say that a lot of stuff's in your parents' house. So were they supportive when you made
They when I told her I was like, I quit there, it was like, should have done that ages ago. It's really like, makes a difference having like parents to support you and things like that. Because there's sometimes there's gaps between jobs and everything. But like, I mean, to begin with, you know what I mean? But once you get there, like, you do need that support system as you start now.
Well, just very quickly before we hear the next question, because that's kind of interesting. What is it you kind of like do to keep yourself engaged while you are waiting for new projects coming? You've got this 5-year job now, but earlier on, like you say, it's difficult for actors. They've got to keep themselves busy.
Yeah, it's terrible. I have to, like, I was just a man of leisure.
No, I'm not.
It's awful. Sitting around, like, playing PlayStation, like, it's terrible. Just having, like, lions.
So you mean honing your craft, yeah? Yeah. Fair. Please.
I imagine you probably can't tell us, but with Joker 2 being a musical, we see you do a musical number.
I can't tell you. I think what am I going to say? So yeah, I mean, there's information like out there that it has musical elements, but I mean, it's not like, you know, all the twist or something like that. And if you think about the first movie, like, the amount of times when Arthur is dancing, you know, like when he kills the guys on the train, and then he goes to the bathroom and he's just dancing. Obviously, in that world, there's no music playing that's in his head. The music's in his head, and like you know, before he goes on to the Murray Franklin show, he's just on his own dancing behind the curtain. There's no music playing. So part of him, like when he's like turning into like the Joker, like the music is inside him anyway. So there's not going to be like something, you know, painters and decorators halfway up a ladder, something turning around. Like it's not that. I just find it funny when people will be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it's a musical." It's like, watch the first one again. Let's see how many you know. It's pretty much a musical, you know. But yeah, I think just it will all make sense, and it's done in a really cool way. So.
And this, have we got any more questions? Anyone? Okay. Given this is the second time you're kind of going into the same role, do you kind of watch your stuff back? Do you think about what you want to do? Do you want to add some stuff going back in?
I don't really watch it back. Just focused on the new script, you know, and then something to be thrown back in and working in this like very intense thing. Yeah, you didn't need to. How did I do that? No, it was just instant. You know what I mean? I watched back in there with the same team, same crew, like Tom, just amazing. And Lady Gaga, she was phenomenal. Such a lovely girl. Stephanie, that took me by surprise. Of course, she would have a real name. First name isn't Lady.
Hey, do you ever consider branching out into other aspects of filmmaking at all, or do you just prefer acting?
I feel like me and my friends, you know, we've been like, they're more writers. We've been developing screenplays and things. I wouldn't mind though maybe producing at some point. I've got a manager in LA who's, he works for like, he's got a production company now, so he said he's going to get me on board to learn a bit of producing as well. So that could be cool.
A foot in the door.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, cheers, man.
So any particular genre you want to kind of produce something in?
Probably horror.
I was going to say, you mentioned horror earlier. I could picture you coming up with something good there. Yeah. And kind of, what's some of your kind of favourite horror films which kind of you'd like to sort of do something a bit like?
Well, I think, yeah, The Thing, probably my favourite horror movie of all time. I don't know, there's a whole, like, you know, there's different types in there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Dog Soldiers, I can't believe went to watch Dog Soldiers later on, that's incredible. Yeah, like, you know, some of the slasher stuff's quite fun, like, you know, yeah, you know, The Shining, one of the best of all time.
Oh yeah, if you ever get
Let the Right One In, did you ever see that? Like,
Yes.
the original, not the remake, they're absolutely brilliant.
I grew up in the 80s where it was kind of like all those kind of like wonderful 80s horror films were coming out. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I did want to ask you about kind of the Christmas film which you've done as well, because we do have Santa somewhere in attendance here this weekend.
Which one? So I've done an Italian one, and I did Get Santa, which was like a British one.
Let's do both. I mean, I was Get Santa, I had discovered.
I had quite a good love with Rafe Spall on that. He's a fun guy. Yeah, I mean, I played a little elf old man. Respect.
You mentioned work over in like Italy, so was it foreign language film?
Yeah, I've done two Italian films, like all in foreign language, and like the most recent one I've done, it was like, it's basically translates to like Who Framed Santa Claus, and it was me! I played like this, like the head elf, and this bit of a bad guy elf, who almost ruins Christmas, but then realises the error of his ways, and managed to fix it in time. Yeah, that was fun.
Excellent.
A bit of a challenge going over and like doing the entire film.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Leigh Gill! Thank you, everyone. And that was Mr. Leigh Gill. What a great time we had. A bit of an abrupt ending there. I kind of cut a little bit near the end. So we hope you enjoyed that. We hope you're having a good week. Remember, you want to get there, though, for Sci-Fi Weekend at 16. That's from the 20th to the 23rd of March in Great Yarmouth here in the UK. It's just a great time. Please do come and join us for that. But for now, that's it for the Dr. Squee Show. Please join us next week for another wonderful interview with a fantastic star. But for now, I've been Dr. Squee. That was my show. And in a world where you can be truly anything, please live like you've got two hearts and be kind.